The first thing that really jumps out is just the lack of a system here. We have buses, we have a streetcar, but if you're dependent on that stuff wholly, it's really difficult to get around.
The buses don't come often, and they're not easily accessible routes to get around the city unless you're going downtown.
Sometimes you're standing at a bus stop and the bus never shows up, or it's really late.
Usually buses, you can count on them to be a little bit late, but over the years they've definitely gotten more and more late, and especially more of them have been breaking down.
I've always rode the bus. I rode the bus my whole entire life. My mom taught me how to ride the bus when I was like 7.
Our coalition, we have a planner, which is super important when we're talking about data for buses. We have an organizer, which is me. We have the starch advocate, which is Cam, and someone who knows how to work social media.
They'll complain loudly, sometimes not in the nicest way, but it gets attention and it gets things done.
I talk to my friends at Metro and they send me ridership data for all the bus stops and all the bus routes, and then we use that to make suggestions or to point out things that aren't working.
A couple guys, Cam Hardy and Mark Simon, they came to me and were like, we have an idea, we want to run by you.
We went to his committee and presented him with numbers and data that suggested that Main Street was the busiest street for pedestrians, for bus riders, and for cars, especially during peak time. So it justified giving buses its own lane.
Because the whole system is based around downtown, that means people get stuck in traffic downtown and it affects the whole system.
Honestly, in pretty quick order, like a matter of months, it wasn't some years-long thing. We went from the city of Cincinnati having never had a bus-only lane to debuting the first ever bus-only lane in the busiest, sort of most compacted part of the entire city. I think the real verdict so far has been nothing but a success.
Among the things that we've done is we started making some benches, because there were very few benches around the city.
Metro did not own a single bench before this year, and so our program was to build wooden benches and put them out at stops where we knew a lot of people were waiting. This bus stop has over 100 boardings a day, so there's always going to be someone waiting here.
And it's great to have a bench here for us to sit on and wait for the bus.
That sort of snowballed into a lot of negative PR about Metro and the city, about why these groups of people were like volunteering their time to put up benches. And so now they found some money.
The bus company bought 75 benches. We started putting them out all over the city, which means we were successful. But that's the kind of winning stuff we've seen happen.
I think the two biggest challenges facing the transportation system locally here in Cincinnati are, one, we have an underfunded system.
We don't have a lot of funding for our buses. Our buses operate on about $60 million.
We don't have a sustainable funding model. We're kind of headed into the red year after year after year.
With more resources, we could have more routes, we could have more frequency, we could have more span, we could have better bus stops, better bus benches, all of these things, which in turn creates a virtuous cycle where better equals more riders equals more revenue.
With our ballot initiative, what we want to do is we would like to raise the earnings tax 0.2 percentage points to fund and expand transit in the city of Cincinnati.
So we are out here at we're in Madisonville. We're at the Barbecue Festival and Jazz Festival, and we are asking the residents of Cincinnati to sign our petition to properly fund public transportation. An average worker will pay $5 a month extra in taxes to expand public transportation, and we think that the citizens of Cincinnati will support this once it gets on the ballot.
We're very happy that we're getting to the point now where we are almost getting something on the ballot that will fund our transit system. Anyone's running for office cannot skip the transit question. And so I think that we've really done our job in that way.
And it's just exciting, man. I get on buses. I've got my girlfriend. She is now a bus rider, and we sit on these buses. And I don't even say anything. I'm not, I just look around and I'm like, this is why I do it. This is exactly why I do it, because these people deserve it.